Greetings, everyone. We're here playing some Neobrand again today. I do have like a guide up for a video for this, and really haven't changed the list much. The bans and unbans did not really affect this list directly. The only thing I'm trying different here is I put in an Edge of Autumn. This is an old tech from Neobrand back in the day, and I was like, why aren't we playing this? Just because it's a green card that allows you to cycle by sacking a land. So it can be helpful while going off, kind of like endurance, to make sure that we have, a number of cards left in our deck divisible by 7. But sometimes you just, that one more card could be the shoal or the worm you need in order to go off, while also being a green card that we can pitch to Rider. And again, this is eating up a slot. This card, this card, this card. These would be preordains in some people's builds, and I just really haven't liked playing with preordain in the times that I've tested it. And it's always felt clunky. Sometimes I don't have blue mana and I need the blue mana and it doesn't help in that instance. Other times I have the rider and I just need a green card, and then casting preordain means we're spending a whole extra turn. Basically, preordain never sets you up for a turn 1 win. Not never, but very, very seldomly. You'd have to have double Chancellor plus... No, you have to have 2 blue sources for Neoform. Have to have like triple Chancellor plus a blue source and win with an Eldritch Evolution off of just really doesn't set you up. Whereas just having more green cards makes us more consistent. And so, besides like the combo cards here, these 5, we just have the 2 packs main. I do think it's pretty necessary. There's enough times, people are still playing like Leyline Binding, not really Path to Exile, but there are some, I had someone cast a Veil of Summer in response to Sora in the in this league. I already played 2 matches off camera. The first one was a fun back and forth against a Jund deck. The second one, our deck, I mulled to 4 game 1 and didn't find a Neoform or Eldritch Evolution, and game 2 I mulled to 3 and couldn't find a Rider. And that's just... Oh, no. I ended up with a Rider and a Neoform in my hand, and I just needed green cards, and I drew Land, Grizzlebrand, Mox Amber, I think. Or maybe the Zeron Orb. Anyways, it was like I needed one more green card, and then I had lost. So there is a fail rate of the deck, but it runs pretty hot. You do have to make tight mulligan decisions, but I'm hoping to have some fun here, show you guys some winning lines. I think the bans and unbans, like I said, I don't think they really affected this deck all that much. Mox Opal decks tend to not really interact with us, which is a benefit. Like, they did get faster, right? And Brute Scale combo is pretty fast, but we are faster on average. Our good hands, our average to good to above average hands, all beat any of those Mox Opal decks in my experience. The one exception maybe being the like affinity lists that are also running like 4 of the counterspell, whatever that is, with improvise. What else? The Faithless Looting decks, again, are usually trying to do their own thing, and we're not really too concerned. We're usually faster than something like Dredge, or even, looting into Persist on Archon. We usually can afford to discard 1. This hand is a turn 2. It is a risk, because if we draw Grizzlebrand, because we already have Galta in hand, we are dead. But I don't think we're mulling a turn 2 win. Obviously, we have turn 1 wins, but it's not worth. I think I'll play out the Disciple first. Even though we could top deck a land and not need to, this guarantees we don't have to bolt ourselves by leaving the Gemstone Mine for our second land. And they might think we're like an Elves deck, and then we can Neoform our... Rider's going to have to exile Galta and Summoner's Pact. So we kind of hope to just draw another green card that I'd rather throw away so my Pact can go get the Worm. Or even like Galta's better than all our 7 drops. So opponent has Voidwalker in their main deck, so some sort of like rock deck. Yikes. We do have to be wary of discard spells. So let's hope they want to play a threat on turn 2 instead of Thoughtseize us. Or Inquisition. Please play a threat. Please play a threat. Oh. What is this? Soul Tie. Maybe it's another Gravecrawler, whatever that Goblin Zombie combo is. Could be a weird build of Yawgmoth, I guess. I don't know. Voidwalker lends itself to more of like just a... Okay, yeah, Citrus Supplier. Bloodghast. Huh. Some sort of Unearth. I don't know, maybe it's just a value deck, but it seems like it's likely a combo. We can expect discard out of the sideboard. So here my choice is between keeping Galta or the Pact. There's upside to both. So upside of keeping Pact is I can go get the 15, the Otacon Worm. But because I'm not pacting for Rider, using a Pact means I have to win this turn, whereas I could possibly pass the turn. And I think I'd rather take the ability to pass the turn and have, Shoal for 8 here, especially because I haven't taken a single damage yet. This puts us to 28. So we already have a Mox Amber. Well, we hit the worm. So we gotta hit a Shoal in the next 7. We did. We're probably pretty locked up from here with Pact. Yeah. I'll go ahead and we already have an Endurance. We have Pact Negation to stop them from any sort of weird thing that I don't know about. Don't really know of a card they could have that would affect us right now. So go up to 36. We have 35 cards, so we can actually go down to just draw our entire deck exactly. Perfectly. Going to 1 life. Not really concerned because I can Shoal Pact in response. And we know that we have everything, so we scroll over. Not gonna show them any more than they need to see. We already gained 30. So this is lethal. Always worry I'll accidentally pass or click the wrong thing here and create a food. Okay. Just like that. Easy turn 2. Okay. So the debate here is, do I want Veil and Leyline? Or just Leylines? Assuming they probably are going to play Thoughtseizes. They had blue as well, right? They played a Hedge Maze. So I think I want both because I think they have counter magic as well. So it's a pretty heavy sideboarding. And then we might change up, we might end up needing some of these game 3 if we see certain other cards. We'll start by trimming the kind of easier ones. The second Endurance, the Edge, the Abundant Harvests. So it leaves us with 2. Don't think I want to go down to 0 Endurance. I don't think I want to change up any of my combo. I did add a land, so I can cut. It's hard. They might also be I just realized they might be a Orcish Bowmaster's deck, which is another reason why you want Leyline or Veil. I guess it's probably this land, but that puts us shorter on blue sources if we draw this not in our starting hand. But I don't think it's worth cutting a Symbiosis. So yeah, we'll go like that. 61. I guess we cut a Pact. Most of what we're doing... I guess we have to see. I don't know enough. I probably could dig around and try to figure out what deck exactly our opponent's playing. But it just might not be a popular deck. Or a deck that's actually... trying to think. Like I said, it could be a Yogg deck, but I think it's one of the... Excuse me. Hey, look, Neobrand's up here. That's at 0.9% of the meta. Congrats to Baiko Degia. They're playing 1 Endurance, 4 Preordain. Simic Growth Chamber. What is the purpose of that in the sideboard specifically? Because it resets your gemstone mines? You play it in a longer game, maybe? 3 Leyline seems silly. If you're going to play it, I feel like you need 4. Otherwise... Huh. They are playing 2 Veil main. I like that. Interesting. It's very similar lists. And then Bad Boy Keenan got 12th in a challenge. They have 4 preordain. They're playing 4-2, 4 claim, 2 pact. Very solid sideboard. Very similar. I'm just basically replacing preordain with other cards. And that, like I said, is... He's played it... Oh, it just showed up twice, it looks like. Then there's this one on Christmas Eve. 4 preordain. Oh, that's very similar. Okay. I'm curious about the Simic Growth Chamber. Someone let me know what that's for. Oh, the gut shot loop. Someone was talking about doing that. Seems dangerous. Anyways, couldn't figure out what our opponent's on. I don't think we keep this. If we top deck a Neoform, just like that, it's a turn 1 win. Although we'd have to exile a Shoal. Yeah, I mean, I like Leyline. Obviously, Grizzlebrand in hand means we have to go get Galta. We only have 1 land. The Mox Amber is just like a completely dead card in your starting hand. This looks closer, but unfortunately, we don't have any way to get a rider. We have 2 lands and a Neoform. This is just a dead card, unfortunately. I think we go to 5. We definitely have 5s better than this. We have to keep a awkward 5 because we don't have a blue source. I think we get rid of the second pact. And we don't have a Leyline, obviously, or Veil, so this hand might get ripped apart by Thought Seizes. It is what it is. What is our opponent doing? I assume they're going to fetch a Surveil land, but I'm just generally... Well, we didn't need this, but technically this pack can go get the second Disciple as our 3rd land. We'll lead on the Disciple, because if you're going to keep a card in hand, you want to keep this one because it's a 7 versus a 6 mana card, which means if you end up having to Shoal it, this can, gain you a whole nother draw 7, whereas the Disciple sometimes falls short. Technically, this one's better to cast too, but we're not really ever casting it. So yeah, in a pinch, you can pact for Disciple, which is why you play 2 Disciples specifically. Psychic Frog. So is this just a... What is this deck? It's a frog deck splashing green, and we just saw their green lands maybe game 1. What are the green lands doing? Play this. I assume they probably kept a Force and Negation hand if they didn't mull. I don't really want to go for it with the pact, especially because the Force and Negation on Eldritch Evolution is just good game after we pact if they leave all their mana up. At the same time, I can't just wait around to draw the Veil. I guess a blue source plus Veil. They discarded 1, 2, lots of lands. So yeah, I kind of hope they deploy a threat here, but they're likely just going to leave their mana open, and we're probably dead in the water. This is just a fast clock that also draws cards. It's just so ridiculously powerful. I liked playing it when we were playing Dredge. Well, we can go for it without pacting, but if I go for it, I'm going to Rider, exile Neoform, and pact. Cast EE. If they counter the EE, we're basically dead anyway. But I don't think it's worth waiting. We have to draw a Veil. Just as likely to draw that as any other card in our deck. So if he just counter spells, okay, he didn't counter. I assume this gets countered, but like I said, There's not really a long game when they're drawing 2 cards a turn. Flusterstorm, sure. And, you know, like I have what? I probably only have 3 more turns against this. You know, so like I wasn't going to draw a Veil. You know, technically I'd have a Pact for a Rider and then a Neoform or E, right? Great, but like they just had to have 1 more counterspell, and by that time they would have drawn 6 more cards, so very unlikely that we win there. I mean, this is okay against counter magic, not against Flusterstorm though, notably. I don't think we dilute. I think we keep this and this. The one thing is we could cut ley lines. They're just very likely on discard. If we cut it, what does it look like? It looks like Endurance, Pact, 2 Harvests. Makes us a little more... Oh, we gotta switch this out. A little more consistent and resilient, I guess. Just not as good against discard. Amber and Sword in the starting hand is pretty useless. Wow, we did it again. We're 1 blue source short of a turn 1. But if it's not turn 1, then we don't even have a land drop turn 1. So unfortunate. That's close. Do we go to 4 or do we keep this and hope to just draw a rider? Keep 2 lands. Bottom, bottom. Not even reveal this. I feel like we have 4 cards that are better than this. I can't afford to go any lower. Can't afford to keep this in my hand. Well, it is unfortunate, but it looks like we're going to lose this match. I mean, we're historically not great into counter magic. Veils make it better, but I mean, you saw, what was that, 4 hands? I didn't see a veil in any of them. Where are all my Veil Summers? They just be hiding. We need to draw like a lot. Well, at least it's not Thoughtseize. So there's just like Oculus, Unearth. This is just, I mean, I've obviously seen a lot of Dimir and Grixis, like Murktide, Frogtide, Oculus decks, whatever they're being called these days. I've just never seen it with the Stitcher Supplier and the green mana. So I'm like very confused. I want to keep green cards in my hand, because if I draw a Rider, I can actually, you know, I still need a Rider plus a land, or a Rider plus a Neoform. So I'm like, what are they split? Is they like, is green for Rumble maybe? Instead of playing Splashing Red for Faithless Looting? But they're also playing Bloodghast. I don't know. And Stitcher Supplier. So it's like just a weird, different Oculus build. If we have Unearth on this right now, we're dead pretty quick. We only have like 1 turn to draw it and hope they don't have a counter map spell. Oh no, Unearth is nice. This is instant. So we do have to watch out for that. Our only answer to that is Pact Negation. I drew the Neoform. Because of that, I'm not going to play out the land. Doesn't really benefit us in any way to play it. By keeping it, we can have a Shoal in our hand and exile 2 green cards. So we need to see a Summoner's Pact or Rider, and then we can go for it and hope they don't counterspell us. Shocking. Why are they shocking? Bowmasters. Yikes. Now we kind of need a Veil. Okay. They're holding up mana. They have a Bowmasters. I guess I play this out now because we need to cast a Veil to not die. So the benefit is like we can go Neoform Grizzlebrand, draw 7. He puts puts all the triggers on the stack, and then we can hopefully draw into Veil and cast it, then let all the triggers resolve, which fizzle, and then go off from there. What is it? 2, 4, 6, 7. So it's putting us to 5. So now we're in a place where like we can't even draw, right? If we draw the rider this turn. So basically dead. Hopefully win the next round. I've had really good luck with this deck overall. But it is very much like a turn 1-2 deck, and usually if you're playing a long game, it means you're losing. So there is a reality that like it feels bad to be losing for longer versus I'm not even gonna do it because of how the triggers work. I need to be able to draw a 14. I need to be at 14 life, right? Because I draw in response. The draw does this. Oh, whatever. Let's do it. Let's make a dude. Let's make a deal. See if this even resolves. I had to pact, so I'm dead on my upkeep anyways, even if I get a dude out here. But, yeah, the games you win, right, when you have turn 1 wins, that only lasts a couple minutes at most. And so it's like you don't spend a lot of time winning. And that's where, like, people like control decks, you know, grindier decks, because when you are winning, you're winning for longer. You're winning, you know, like these frog decks. Like when you have a frog or even 2 frogs in play and you just get to keep swinging and stuff, it's like, it feels really good because you're winning for a long time. You get to decide how fast you win, what cards you have in your hand. Whereas, you know, Boros Energy is just like, here's all my stuff. Is that enough to win? That's how an aggro deck used to be. It's not really true now because of Flage being a broken card, but you know, maybe WotC will figure that out. Until then, we are stuck in our Energy Frog meta and then various combo decks that have good matchups against them. Right now we're at Frog, Mardu plus Boros. Oh, this is 30 days, sorry. That's not correct. That looks better. Mardu, Frog, Boros, and them together. This is low. If you see the ones that I posted that include the paper magic and focus more on the challenges. I think these two numbers are closer to 20 together, and this is closer to like 10, 15. And then all these decks are 5 or below. And there's just various, what combo deck do you like to play? Is it a mid-rangey combo? Is it an all-in combo? I guess Ramp isn't technically a combo deck, but more of a synergy. This is the more combo one, right, through the breach. But that's pretty much it. That will be our meta until March. So you got 3 more months. Well, I think it will adjust drastically in 2 days on the 2nd when everyone's token runs out. Because right now people are testing any deck they can play, right, for whatever it was, $10, $15. You can play any deck you want. Well, I hope they're an elemental list and not a control list. We have a turn 2 win, so we will keep. We'll start with just Island. We'll turn to Park Channel Pathway and then go for it. Oh no, we need another green card. We have to pact for Rider. We have pact. We need one other green card. We're actually land heavy. And then again, we've had Mox Hammer in like every starting hand this since I started this video, right? There's another green card. Cool. There is a chance that this doesn't work, in which case, we tried our best. This little guy would like to summon this big thing, except in this instance, it's just an elf riding a dinosaur, which for some reason has the CMC of 7. That is what's funny about this deck, is it's based on the fact that they made the free green card cost 7. Like, why? This could have been a 4-drop, right? Like, it's not like it's a powerful card other than the fact that it has a free casting cost. Because it's only equal to the number of lands you control plus 1. So it's like, if it was a 4-drop, it would still just be a 4/5 for 4, right? Like, it's basically a vanilla creature. And here's where we see Spell, Snare, Pierce, or Force are the options. Oh, we don't see any of those. We do have to get lucky and draw 14 because we had to pact. Because we already packed, I think I'm going to cast this one for 2 reasons. One, it puts us to 42 cards in deck, which makes us divisible by 7. 2, it makes us more likely to be able to win if I do hit 1 shoal. Deck just not liking us today, eh? We're, funny enough, we 1 Mox Hammer away from just casting Sauron, although he would do nothing because we haven't gained any life. We didn't hit our Edge of Autumn, which would have been a free redraw. So, that is it. Let's see what our next card was. Pact. Followed by what? 3, 4, 5, 6. There it is. So it wasn't the next 7. We would have hit 2 shoals. Okay. You win some, you lose some. Mostly we're losing some today. It is what it is. We assume they're counterspell deck. I like Veil better than Pact over most of the time versus counterspells, but I think I like a couple packs over the Abundant Harvest. We're still on the play, so I don't want the gemstone. Oh no, yes, I am on the play because I lost. I'm used to winning the first game. Do 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 do. Yes. Can we do it? Come on, let's go to turn 1. I'm at turn 1 a little while. This whole league, I think. The last videos I posted had multiple turn 1s. Well, if you were just a Chancellor like you were supposed to be, do I keep a turn 2 with Pact? Sure. Sure. Sauron being useless in my starting hand. As always. Useless Sauron. Let's hope they don't have Flusterstorm, but this can be a single Force or Snare. Maybe they'll play a Surveil Land, and then we know for a fact we only have to hit Snare. Okay, okay. Oh, I'm 1 green card short again. I really don't want to discard that. We can exile this and this. I think we go for it. I don't think I want to wait against this deck. Obviously, losing a shoal is poopy. But what are you going to do? Is this a Snare? Wish you were a green card. Would have been turn 1 if this was just Chancellor. Would have been Chef's Kiss. Turn 1 with Pact. Yep. Snare me, bro. Do you also have a Force of Negation plus another blue card in your hand? Hopefully you have like 3 lands. Okay. We will get the grisliest of brands. Come on, show me a shoal and a worm. Shoal and a worm. Shoal and a worm. We got a shoal. Well, that means we're not dead this time. We can at least redraw one of our 7s here. We hit the worm, which is glorious. Cast out the good old Ambery. But should be good here. From here on out. we'll just go get the worm, and this is lethal already with the amber here. We've gained to 30, we play this, keep it, tap it. We know he had Soren because he was in our startingest of hands. Pass through, and that's the old turn 2. We did it, boys, girls, and everything else. We made it. Okay. Don't want to make any changes. I think Harvests are still worth it for the hands that have, you know, Chancellor but aren't turn 1, especially, as well as it's good as Funny Land over just the Edge Bottom or Endurance. I don't think I'll need Nature's Claim. I'll bring in this for this. Yep, I think that's it. Let's get another turn 1 win put. Well, another. That was a turn 2, but let's get a turn 1. I'm feeling it. I feel the need for it. It's like needing more cowbell. I have a disease, and the cure is more cowbell. I haven't looked yet. Is it a turn 1? No. It's a 1-lander. Yeah, it's a Mull. It's a Mull. It's a turn 3 that needs to hit running lands. I guess it could be a turn 2 if I hit running lands, but yeah, not worth it. This is closer. I like the Veils. I at least have a Harvest to guarantee a second land drop. So we'll dump the second evolution. Yeah, if we top deck a land, we harvest into our third land. The only thing is, like, in order to use Veil, we really have to be a turn 4, which is just, like, slow, but opponent doesn't even have blue source to start with. That's interesting. I wonder if they're playing Path. They're trying to Path to Exile, because this is not good against Path to Exile. I like this. I don't think I want to bolt, because if I'm playing Eldritch Evolution, I have another turn anyway, so I can just cast this next turn. And if I draw the Neoform, I can just win next turn. Go for it. I probably don't want to go for it. I'll probably wait till I can Veil and... Mystic Gate. Okay. We're in counterspell range now. Opponent mulled once. Twice. Why do you want... Why? I swear. The one of Soren. It's like my most played card. Or most drawn card in my starting hands and various draws. I guess it's better than always drawing Grizzlebrand, I suppose, but... Was my next card Gemstone? That's hilarious. Oh my gosh, hilarious. I guess I technically should do mine, but whatevs. So now the big thing is, do I wait for a 4th land? I guess can I even go for it? I have to exile 2 green cards. I can't go for it with Veil backup until I draw a 4th land and another green card. What are you making over there? Tune the narrative. Okay. Play Wrath of Skies, I assume. Should have made double blue there, even if this is all he had, because he could have drawn another Tune the Narrative and cast it. Oh, they missed their land drop. Decisions. So I can go for it now. I can exile a Veil and a Rider. Go for it with EE. But I'm dead to a single counterspell. And with a Veil backup, they have to have double counterspell, and they're missing land drops. So I think I'm just going to go for Rider while holding up the second Veil. I'm going to give it a turn. I don't want to exile the other Rider or the second Veil, really. And hopefully they keep missing land drops. Which means they have a handful of counter magic, but they won't be able to use it all, ideally. Hey, that's the one I want to see. So, of course, I can't use it because I drew my one colorless land. Ugh. Poopy schmoopy doopy. Just trying to think of what my best. I have to draw another land anyway, in order to do either EE with Veil or Neoform with Veil. I guess I'd rather keep Neoform. Go like this. It allows me to keep a second rider and Veil, and then I at least have a 4/4 in play. I guess I could also play him out, honestly, but that just exposes him. Oh yeah, I can't attack. He doesn't have haste. This is risky. They likely have creature removal, but they probably sided a lot of it out. Gives me a clock though. Pact is. Do I want to risk it with Pact protection? I think we can afford to wait. As soon as he makes his third land drop, I'll probably just go for it. I don't know. I don't know what's correct. I'm trying to think. My brain is not doing it right. I really wish I just had any other land except in some caverns. I have to discard the hand size. Get an idea of what's in their hand. Answer for Grizzlebrand. Another rider. I could just go all in on rider aggro, I guess. Put him to 12 with another rider. It puts him to 4 the next turn. He has to draw something that removes it that is white. But I'd lose my ability to actually go for the combo. I think I'm going to risk it. This is a weird line, but I'm going to take it. Ooh, I got a counterspell? Seems like counterspell. Smells like counterspell. Looks like counterspell. It's a counterspell. Really, I just want to draw a land because I'm all in on Allosaurus Rider aggro. Oh, they have the force and another counterspell. It's hilarious. I don't want to use Pact here, because I will die to it. Okay. I mean, we kind of knew they had a handful of counter magic, but now that I'm all in on Allosaurus Rider aggro having exiled one, is what it is. We got 3 more turns. If I hit land, is it 2 more turns? 1 land puts him to 7, 2 puts him to 1. No. Although it turns off fetch lands. Now I could just Fury bounce this and we're out of the game. Knowing he had exactly counterspell force means that even we had to have Veil plus Pact backup, so I'm glad I didn't go for it. I wouldn't have been able to get through all that. We're also getting close to being able to pay for Pact, which is something I've done before. We'll go ahead and cast this guy. There's no use in holding him. Another counterspell? What is going on over there? It's a weird matchup. You gotta go with what you got, I guess. All I got is this Elf Warrior riding a T-Rex. Or more of like a Allosaurus. Not quite raptor-like. It's gotta purge this? You get 2 celestial purges? Awkward. You sideboarded to all your, like, black card hate. So if our opponent fetches here, he's dead to a land drop next turn. But he might not be able to afford not to fetch. Yeah. Gives him a surveil. I assume he's kept in Teferi's. Main answer to this. And Solitudes. Kept top, so that's a bad sign. We might be dead. And I can't pact yet. I'm 1 land short. Oh, I kept the island top. What's this, like Snapcaster? No? Oh, we're doing stuff with Mystigate. I'm trying to think of what 4-mana card they could have. You had more white mana. I don't know. Seems weird the way he's tapping. If it's removal, we lose, unfortunately. I don't think we would have won it in trying to jam it. I think it would have just got force and negation plus counterspell, and our pact wouldn't have been enough. If we had just drawn this land earlier instead of this one, we could have gone for it with the Neoform. We would have had Veil Pact back when they were stuck on 2. I'm curious what this like 2-minute pause is for. The game hasn't been lagging as much today, right? Yeah, it's down below 2 gigs of memory. Hasn't been slow for me. It's actually before I couldn't even use the like click commands. Kahira Solitude? Like what? Why did that take so long? Oh. No Solitude? He's just hoping that I don't draw land and Kahira can block next turn? Well, got lucky, I didn't draw land. So I put him to 1, and then he's going to have a 3/2 blocker. Turn off all fetches. Really wish drawing a land would have not just been lethal, it also would have turned on Pact if he did have. Haha, can't do that. I mean, you could, but it would end the game. So I assume Kahira's coming down. Tapping this for double white. Kahira itself doesn't have lifelink, right? It gives other ones lifelink. Now he just needs to draw a Solitude and we're... No, just Vigilance. Okay. Well, this doesn't do anything. Cast it anyway. Send a message. If only this were a land. Could use my pact and negation. Chump block. Man, he's got so many draws to hit this Solitude. So he has that, and like I said, Antifury of some number. Please, please, please. We can get there. If we win on turn 10 or 11, it'll be one of the first. Although I've won with beatdowns before with Ryder, I don't think it's ever gone this long. Not often you get the turn 10 win with the Allosaurus Rider beatdown plan. Okay, we're going in the last match. I can't actually pact for the 3rd land because I happen to have both Disciples in my hand, which means this isn't even a turn 3 guaranteed, so I think we're gonna mull. In game 1, we really want to combo. This has no rider, no reasonable way of getting to 1 anytime soon. Come on, perfect 5. We didn't hit it. keep here. Cause like Chancellor, Harvest, and I need to put these two on the bottom. Have EE. So I can harvest for a non-land, play this tapped first turn, second turn this, have an EE plus a unknown card that's not one of these two. Is that better than going to 4? Because I'll be waiting for third land plus rider with one extra draw. Versus 4 I could maybe have. I think we go 4. Yikes. I think we lose this game. Now the debate becomes, do we just concede? Bottom all this. Keep one shoal. No. Not even close. Go to 3. There he is. Soren, our old friend. Keep tap land, harvest, other land. No. Because Rider requires us to have 2 other green cards in our hand. Can I keep cutting mulligan? It just says you get 0 cards. That's funny. We know we're on the play, so no gemstone. I think it was our 6, right, that we could have kept. Or was it the 5, where it was like we had to draw into a rider plus a green card plus a third land. It's just like that needs so much. I don't know if it's worth it. Well, we're just a rider short of a turn 1 win. If you are the right pact, the Summoner's Pact, we would keep it in a heartbeat. This is a pretty reasonable turn 3. We can get our land, make our land drops, pitch. Yeah, because we don't want to exile that shoal. Jarfa. We put a Grizzlebrand, Neoform, and Summoner's Pack on the bottom. As well as another. Oh no, just those 3. That's not bad. We want the Grizzlebrand down there. So we have to do turn 2 Sanctum. If we top deck the Neoform, we can go for it. Otherwise, we need to draw any green card. Oh, we're against Merfolk? Yikes. We need a really fast hand versus Merfolk, and we did not have it. This isn't gonna. This is likely not gonna go well for us. We have sorcery speed spells, so Rashard and Dockhand is gonna hurt us. Hopefully it taps out. Okay. So he could have force plus blue card is decently likely. He probably plays 4 of. But we're not gonna wait and does nothing for us. We'll keep the shoal in our hand, obviously. Do you have force of negation? Luckily we stay at exactly 16. I guess 15 would be fine too, but staying above 15 is a big deal. You want to be able to draw 14. Although we technically aren't. We didn't use a pact, so we technically could pass the turn with a Grizzlebrand out there. We had to take a damage, so we're at 16. Yep. Okay. Cool. Good games. Although that was not as exciting of some matches as I've recorded before. I think I'll still post it. Part of me is like, don't post the video. I didn't do great, but I'll show you that, this deck isn't as consistent as it has shown in some of my other videos. It does have a fail rate, and it might just be that there are a lot of force negations out there. But especially if you're playing in paper, you're going to a RCQ, you're just trying to win FNMs. If you know that people are running force negation decks, like, you probably won't have as much fun playing this deck. If you know there aren't a lot of those, if you know there's more energy, like, energy is the most played deck, and would 100% love to just queue into that. I'll play energy 5 matches out of 5 every league with this deck, and probably go 4-1 most of the time, with the one loss just being because the deck didn't give me I had a Mull to 0. So I think that this deck is worth playing sometimes. I wouldn't bring it to FNM week after week because people will just know you're playing it and they'll start packing all the force negations on the sideboard and fluster storms and whatnot. That being said, blue decks really have the best interaction, and then black second. After that, there isn't really a lot. Yes, white can have instant speed removal, but we can just beat that with Pact and the fact that we can draw cards. So it's not like red and white, red and green can't really do anything against us. Graveyard Hate does nothing. Sometimes I've seen people bring in Tormod's Crypt, and I'm like, well, that doesn't do what you think it does, friend. So I think it's still a fun deck. I think it's still a powerful deck, and we just got unlucky this time. Hope you enjoyed, and have a great day.